Hi, this is Anthony Parent of Parent & Parent LLP, the IRSMedic, and welcome to Part 4 of our 2014 Guide to IRS Offshore Voluntary Disclosure. And in this video, we are going to be speaking about the 5% penalty that is included in OVDP FAQ 52. And just a little bit about us. We are Parent & Parent LLP. We're tax resolution attorneys. It is rumored we have the biggest offshore caseload. I am not entirely sure if that's true. Here's a picture of myself and my father, and we are based in Connecticut, but yes, we do have clients all around the world. And so we just want to talk about this 5% standard offshore penalty. Most people are aware that there's the typical penalty is 27.5% on the highest account value. And then they'll see that there is a 12.5% penalty if the account is under $75,000. And then people see this 5% and say, oh, well, that's the amount I want. It's much lower. Well, here's the thing. You can't argue for this. Either you qualify for it or you don't. There's no negotiating down inside the offshore disclosure without opting out to get 5%. And actually, if you do opt out, you might do better than 5%. So we're going to run through this, and we're going to show you why we think 5% is actually too high for those who acted innocently. And so let's go over some of the reasons why. The thing is, you have to look at who qualifies. Okay, and now number one, this is a generalized test. Okay, it's a little bit different, and there's a little bit nuance, but generally, this is the test. Okay, number one, if you are one of the people who didn't open a bank account, you really haven't touched a bank account, you haven't withdrawn more than $1,000, unless you were closing an account, and it was all funded. If it was funded with U.S. money, all the taxes were paid. Well, then you know what? There's a good chance you would qualify for that 5% penalty. You have to meet all of those. Okay, now someone else who would qualify is someone who didn't even know they were a U.S. citizen. And typically where this happens is when someone who their parents came to the U.S., maybe ambassadors or here on business and were born in the U.S., went back to a foreign country, never really thought they were a U.S. citizen, and just found out recently that your citizen is imposed upon you if you are born here. Well, that's a kind of person who would get a 5% standard penalty on the highest balance of their account. The other type is an expatriate, someone who's been living overseas for all the years that they have been disclosing, and someone who did comply with all foreign tax requirements and has less than $10,000 of U.S. sourced income. Okay, what's nice about this, if you do qualify for this 5%, is if that you have real estate in the mix, you don't have to include that in the penalty base, whereas the other ones you do. So it is a benefit. But overall, we have some tremendous problems with the 5% penalty, okay? Because if you qualify for a 5% penalty, don't these qualifications support reasonable cause? Reasonable cause, and that's really the test that no FBAR penalty should be assessed at all. If you have reasonable cause, you can ask for a 0% penalty during an opt-out. So why not opt out instead of pay 5%? Well, in some cases, it does make sense. It makes sense not to opt out. And if you have a small case value, you know what? It's just not worth your time and money to opt out. And I guess there's some risk, but we really haven't seen a lot of people with risk. If you meet these qualifications, it'd be very difficult to get a criminal, or it would be difficult to assess a high amount. Something more than non-willful. So. Yeah, I guess there's some risk, but it just doesn't seem, if you actually met all these criteria, that it's a big risk. So it's really when you start having an account value of $200,000 or more, or assets, and you don't qualify number 3, that's when it really starts to get cost effective and worth the risk to consider opting out and argue why you should not be penalized for one dime. And the thing is that what we've learned recently, and as we've been going on this, is there are very successful opt-outs that we've had, and most people are looking for some guidance, and they want to see that other people have succeeded. So I can tell you that people have succeeded in getting reduced penalties, and we have helped people get these reduced penalties. As we're moving along, we feel a little bit more secure about telling people when to opt out. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sharing what we know about the process and how things have been moving on. And if you're looking for more information about OVDP in general, we're going to suggest you subscribe to this channel. We're going to be coming out with part 5 of the OVDP guide. And also go to IRSMedic.com, our blog there, and we're constantly updating information there about how things are moving on with OVDP and also in our regular tax resolution practice. And if you're looking to talk to someone about making a disclosure, you can call our OVDP hotline at 888-477-4258 or email info@irsmedic.com. This is Anthony Parent of Parent & Parent LLP, the IRS Medic, and I thank you for watching.